We've got breaking news out of the NFL. The Patriots are releasing wide receiver Stefon Diggs after just one season in New England. That's been confirmed by our Jonathan Jones. The Pats will save just under $17 million in cap space with his release. Diggs led the Patriots with 85 catches for just over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns last season. He'll now enter the new league year as an unrestricted free agent. We've got our two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden back with us here. B-Mac, an interesting move here in terms of the Patriots. Only 1 year for Stefon Diggs up there in New England. Do you agree with this move?
If we're talking about just football related, no, I don't agree with this move. Stefon Diggs, to your point, Haley, he led them in receiving yards, over 1,000 yards. He was a very, very reliable pass catcher for young quarterback Drake May. 4 receiving touchdowns as well. Now, in terms of the Super Bowl game, clearly he wasn't at his best, but heck, you can make the same argument for the entire offense for the New England Patriots. But what he did to get to that point, he was a big-time playmaker for the New England Patriots. And one would think you would continue to have those reliable pass catchers for your young and up-and-coming quarterback in Drake May, especially looking at the success that Drake May had in year 2 for the Pats. So if this is solely about football, no, I do not agree with this move, because I feel like Stefon Diggs, with the production, the consistency that he provided, clearly should be a part of the New England Patriots moving forward, especially for 2026 at least.
Yeah, Steph has taken to Instagram to post on his story, said, "Thank you for a hell of a year. We family forever at the Patriots." So obviously he is coming to terms with this news here. We'll have to wait and see what comes with Steph. But in the meantime, if we think about a replacement for him in this upcoming year, our Jonathan Jones has been very busy tracking trades, and a potential move that they're looking at could be Chicago's DJ Moore, a guy who's been really trying to revamp his career since heading up to Chicago. What do you think about the potential fit for DJ in New England, getting passes there from Drake May?
I would love this move for both sides, right? For DJ Moore, this move makes sense because it seems like Rome Odunze is starting to insert himself at that wide receiver 1 position for the Bears. And if you go back, remember before Rome was injured, he was playing like the wide receiver 1. Remember, you look at the numbers, Rome only played in 12 ball games, right, a year ago. He had 661 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. DJ played in 17 games. He had 682 and 6 touchdowns. So when you talk about the production, Rome did more with less when it comes to the opportunities and, of course, the injury. So if you're DJ, it seems like they're ready to kind of allow Rome to take that role, and he showed that he could handle that role at the wide receiver 1 position for the organization. And then for the Pats, they just released Stefon Diggs. He was a top wide receiver a year ago. The next best pass catcher was Hunter Henry for the Pats. So if you're the New England Patriots, you know exactly the expectation would be very, very high for you. You just moved on for Stefon Diggs. Go get a proven commodity in a guy like DJ Moore that can build that nice passing relationship with your 3rd-year quarterback in Drake May. Because if you're moving on for Stefon Diggs, you have a spot that's open and that's needed for their offense. I think DJ will fit in rather nicely there for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, it feels like it might be a change of scenery would be good for DJ Moore, too, because we've seen what he's capable of in the past, just a few years ago, catching over 1,300 yards. So it's some exciting stuff building there. It seems like the wide receiver spot, B-Mac, is always like a popular one that we're talking about here. And we've got a couple of teams who are in the market for one. The Bills, the Chargers, and the 49ers all potentially looking at Mike Evans to join their team. I kind of want him to stay in Tampa, but that's just me, B-Mac. So you're our expert here. What do you think about Mike Evans potentially being on the move to one of those teams?
Yeah, he will be on the move, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if Buffalo is the destination for Mike Evans. One thing we know about Mike Evans, especially where he is in his career, he would like to be a part of an offense that has a legit quarterback in the huddle. Well, Buffalo, they check that box. He would like to be a part of an offense that can do numbers and, most importantly, compete for a playoff spot to be able to have a chance to compete for a championship. Well, Buffalo, they check that box as well. And for Buffalo, you need to go get a guy who can be a difference maker. One thing we know about Mike Evans, Haley, when he has been healthy, he is guaranteed to get at least 1,000 yards receiving. Unfortunately, a year ago, he didn't have that same luxury because he only participated in 8 games. The last time the Buffalo Bills started receiver, you got to go all the way back to 2023. You know who that player was? The player we just talked about, Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs was the last wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills to surpass 1,000 yards receiving in a season, which was 2023. So they've been missing that mark. They've been trying to find a way to bring in wide receivers that can take their offense to another level. They've been missing. They've been striking out. Well, you want to make sure you make connection with this ball. Go get a guy like Mike Evans. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a grand slam come from that swing as well, because I still believe he has enough tread left on his tires to be a difference maker for an offense like the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen.
Yeah, I remember even, I know he dealt with the injuries this year, but even late into the season, we were still holding our breath to see if he was going to hit that 1,000-yard mark. So would love to see him come back to the top of the mountain. B-Mac, when we talk wide receivers, we also got to talk quarterbacks, because the quarterbacks are always on the move. And this year we've got kind of a strange group of quarterbacks this offseason that we've been talking about. Of course, Tua Tagovailoa, Kyler Murray, the names that have been popular, but Aaron Rodgers as well. It's always curious to see what he is going to do, whether it's retirement or suiting up again. Malik Willis has been one of the talking guys as well. I believe he comes in at number 31 on Pete Prisco's top free agent list. But I just want to steer the conversation to Tua, B-Mac, because at this point it feels like the writing is on the wall with him in Miami. Just sounds like things just aren't going to work out there. But maybe a team that he's faced before, the New York Jets, we're seeing some interest there. What do you think about a guy like Tua, who I will add has the stigma of not being able to play in cold weather? What do you think about a guy like that then going to the Jets and maybe being the answer?
I mean, for the Jets, I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, okay. Why? Why would you do this? The only thing that makes sense for the Jets, if you were to do this, would be the Miami Dolphins eating the majority of this contract, right? I think he's looking at $50+ million this season, so Miami would have to eat at least all, if not more than half of that contract. So financially speaking, you're not hit with a bad contract. But then for the Jets, adding Tua, does it really make you that much better? Like, how improved will you be if you add a guy like Tua Tagovailoa? Like, I mean, I don't understand. I know Jets fans clearly wouldn't like this move. I think it would be better if they just go through the draft or look at some of the other quarterbacks that could be available in this watered-down quarterback class when it comes to free agency. But for the Jets, no, it doesn't make any sense. For Tua, it makes all the sense in the world, because you're walking into a situation where you pretty much will be the starting quarterback. But for the New York Jets, you're taking a quarterback that your rival team does not want. And the reason why they don't want him, Haley, is because he's missed the mark when it comes to the expectations. So if a team who you do not like, for a team who you hate, why would you want a player they don't want? Like, why? Like, and why would you think that would make you better? That's like, like playing against your rival team. Hey, man, you're not good enough to play for them, but we want you to play for us. Like, help me make sense of that. Haley, that doesn't make any sense for the Jets.